Spotlight today is precisely 6:41 p.m. right here in the city of Lagos. My name is Esther Wachuku. I will tell you that it's quite an exciting day. So we had a very interesting activity in church. So today is like Mothering Sunday. We got to give up mothers gifts for those of us whose mothers are very much still alive. We celebrated our mothers, those who have played a motherly role in our homes, in every aspect of our lives, even if they're not directly by blood to have given birth to us. So today was a very beautiful day. We thanked God for life. We celebrated the women. We did quite a lot, and I will tell you, it was quite an intensive Sunday. So and then obviously, we have to come home. I can see rice and a stew. We have to chop food. Okay, we have to eat, because it is not every day work. We have to eat the fruit of our labor. Welcome to the political spotlight right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, where we got to discuss issues across Nigeria's political and economic landscape. And I must tell you, Nigeria's political landscape is awash with quite a lot. The chessboard, the overhauling, the defection from political parties, the fact that a couple of people feel that our political party system is sliding to one state, one political party system in the country, and a couple of political stalwarts are not happy about that. And then the presidency is defending all of this defection and saying that the APC is an attractive party because the president is really doing a good job. He's doing the needful. He's actually defending the party. All the renewed hope agenda, he's presenting it. Now, in the case of insecurity, while insecurity is bedeviling the nation, you do know that in Plateau State, about 60 communities have been renamed by the supposed Fulani headsmen or Fulani terrorists per se. And right now, it's become something that is of urgent national importance. Nigerians are still asking President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to declare a state of emergency because of what is currently going on with insecurity in the country, specifically with what was discussed during his campaign, and the fact that El Rufai at the time told us what his administration will do in tackling insecurity. 2 years down the line, what next? Now, Nigerians are groaning about the state of the economy, the power sector, which is something that is completely dilapidated. I will tell you that for the past 2 or 3 months, the electricity supply in Nigeria, I don't know about any other city, but in Lagos it's been so inconsistent. Alternative power supply is what a lot of persons have been using to go about their day. Remember 2 days ago, I think on Friday on the evening rush, I was telling you how we get to maximize our alternative power supply, which is a generator. So you're pumping water with it, you put it on for like 3 or 4 hours so that your freezer can get cool. It's not funny, and the weather is so hot. So this mileage of complaints are out there, but the Minister of Power, Adelabu, is telling us that 150 million Nigerians are enjoying uninterrupted power supply. I'm like, oh, huh? In this same country? Like, am I in another Nigeria? Like, seriously? Okay, if that's the case, then let's see how that one goes. So, I want us to take a very brief listen to the former NHIS executive director. He had quite a lot to spill when he was asked about his ordeal in Kuje prison, all that he went through while he was there, his experiences, and what he considers about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. And also, there's something quite interesting that I also want us to hear. So Bash Ali, right? A former almost Guinness World Cup aspirant, or would I say he would have actually clinched it. Well, he had quite a lot to say about one of the ministers currently serving within this administration, who was a former Minister of Sports and Youth Development. You would be surprised to hear what is actually going on in that sector, and how a lot of monies are being collected for bribes, and eventually the project is not executed. But first of all, I want us to take a listen to the former NHIS boss and what he had to say about the APC. Then we eventually listen to Tom Polo. Tom Polo is saying that please support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's a very good man. Let him do his 2 years before you guys will now start looking for any other person from whatever zone, which is quite surprising, right? So let's quickly take a brief listen to Professor Usman here.
Tinubu's government trying to silence any dissent to his government. And this coming from a president who was an IDECO activist himself, who fought the military, who ran across the border and ran away from the military. And when he came back, he never gave neither Jonathan nor Obasanjo, not even Buhari, he never gave them peace. He was criticizing them. Criticizing a government in a democracy is a legitimate right of every citizen. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to stifle dissent in this country and is trying to make this country a one-party dictatorial state. We are not going to let that happen. We'll continue to speak up. We'll continue to raise our voices because silence in the face of evil is itself evil.
All right, so that was a very interesting exposure. As you can see, he has been consistent with the same story and the same narrative. But the question is, politics now is not about sentiment, right? Nobody cares what you think at this point in time. The All Progressives Congress is working hard to ensure that they clinch the ticket in 2027. Whatever it is, whatever kind of pressure they can apply, so far, so good for them. Now, we've heard that about 4 PDP governors are about to defect to the APC. The permutations that Peter Rumba of Enugu State may very soon well declare. You know, Delta State has actually done so. Peter Rumba, obviously, because all the while we've been hearing about this, Peter Rumba has not come out to debunk it. He has not come out to say that's not true. Last week we heard that Governor Oti was going to defect to the APC, and because they saw him together with a couple of some APC persons at some meetings like that. So already the whole thing started flying around that, oh, Peter Rumba may actually defect to the All Progressives Congress. But he quickly came out and denounced it and said he's not defecting to the APC. No one should believe such an information. That's not true, and it's not coming from him. But in regards to Peter Rumba of Enugu State, he has not said anything to debunk that particular story or information circulating that he is a very much well-strong candidate or PDP governor that has a liability and the viability of defecting to the All Progressives Congress. He has not debunked it. Meanwhile, some PDP stalwarts are actually defending the defections. Atiku said it's a good thing. It's their fundamental rights. Whatever alliances they want to have, whatever relationship they want to have with any political party is within their discretion to do so. But Shaun Shogumi is saying that, you know what, anyone that wants to leave, it's better it is happening now. Let's sanitize our party. Let's know where we're going, and let's begin to make sure that we have the right persons on board. In the same breath, Shogumi is asking Peter Obi to actually come join the People's Democratic Party, and there are speculations that Peter Obi may actually defect. Meanwhile, the Labour Party elders, specifically in Delta State, are saying Peter should not defect and that obedience should please remain calm. They should just remain calm. They know what they're doing. Funny enough, during the weekend, we saw that the Obedient Movement now have a membership card. Right, so they want to authenticate the true obedient members. We saw it online, their biodata, profile, date of collection, everything. So the question is Obedient Movement going to be registering their movement to become a political party? Because if Peter Obi cannot join the PDP or join any other political party, there's a tendency that it's 50-50. He may not be given the presidential ticket. And those who want him to become the vice to Atiku, Obedience are saying they don't want that. So would they register the Obedient Movement as a political party? Well, we'll be looking into that in the course of the conversation today. First of all, Nigerian boxing champion and Guinness World Record hopeful Bash Ali has accused top government officials, including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's special advisor on media security, and that is Sunday Dare, of corruption involving $12 million meant for an international boxing event. In a letter to the president, Bash Ali said the federal government collected $12 million as advance payment for the planned Guinness World Record Boxing Championship, but that they failed to organize the event because of corruption and extortion by key officials. Now, he named Dare former sports minister and now a special advisor, along with barrister D.A. Mohammed from the defunct Ministry of Sports Development, accusing them of collecting $13 million from him under false promises. He also claimed that John Eno, now Minister of State for Trade and Investment, demanded an extra $1 million before the project was abandoned. So, according to him, the only event in sport in Nigeria that will, apart from money, bring honor and glory is the Guinness World Record Boxing Championship. Fight, but corruption has stalled it. He said he had met President Tinubu several times about the project, but nothing has changed. Bash Ali explained that the boxing event would have been the first of its kind outside the United States and could have become the most watched per-view fight in history. So I want us to listen to Bash Ali actually speaking there.
Through the office of the Chief of Staff to Mr. President, gotten an advance of $12 million US. The federal government of Nigeria, through the then Minister of Sports and now Special Advisor to Mr. President, Sunday Akindare, and a barrister at the National Sports Commission, Barrister Mohammed, have been able to extort 13 million naira from me.
Wow.
And then, the current Minister of Trade and Investment, John Eno, tried to extort 1 million, but it was not successful.
Hi.
Since then, nothing has happened with this historic fight. The fight is on hold.
Bash Ali.
Yeah, that was Bash Ali speaking there, disclosing what transpired. So a lot of Nigerians now said corruption from top to bottom. Oh, what is going on? How will the administration defend it? Well, we're waiting for Sunday Diary to come up here and actually defend or, deny what Bash Ali has said, if at all, or maybe give us an explanation as to what happened to the $12 million that was given to him while he was the Minister of Sport under the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari. And you know that in the sports sector we've had quite a lot of corruption going on there. Meanwhile, guess what? So you know that in 2027, right? I think about 2 months ago, we saw on social media the supporters of Sheyi Tinubu, the president's son. So they were all like, we just saw some flags and whatever touting him, like advertising him. What do you think if Sheyi Tinubu becomes the governor of Lagos State? Now, you know that for the APC Ronus or something, they are like anybody who is not a proper indigene of Lagos, like if you're not a proper Yoruba, or if you did not marry somebody who is of Yoruba, they would not vote for you, they will not consider you to be one of them. They want to conserve their race. So any form of politicking and appointment in Lagos State, you must be a full-blooded Yoruba. Your heritage, your parentage must be Yoruba. Your wife must be from the Yoruba. If you marry someone else, they are not going to consider you for it. But anyways, people said, well, it's online talk. So we started seeing all of that publication. We're wondering what's going on. What does this mean? Has he tried to become a local council chairman? Has he even tried to go for Senate? He's been more of a private sector individual. So how come they're touting him for governorship? Well, guess what? You know that ahead of the July 12, 2025 local government elections, concerned residents of Lagos State have raised the alarm over what they termed as undue interference of President Bola Tinubu's son, Sheyi, into the electoral process. Some leaders of the ruling APC also voiced their concerns, noting that if Sheyi's excesses are not urgently tamed, the party is not only capable of losing the elections to the opposition, but it might negatively impact the party's chances in the 2027 elections in the state. A resident of Agege, Shegun Odion, alleged that Sheyi Tinubu had started the process of installing his stooges in the 20 local governments and 37 LCDAs against the popular aspirants who are capable of bringing dividends of democracy and development to the grassroots. This person says, this Shegun Odion says, I can tell you that Sheyi has standby candidates across the local governments. This is aimed towards having a soft landing when he is ready to contest for the governorship seat in the state. He has started spending money which those already on the queue for several years cannot spend. Now, the Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students, if you remember last week during the evening rush, I hinted to you that one of them said that he was threatened by goons from Sheyi Tinubu, something about their leadership quota or whatever. And the question was being asked, why does Sheyi Tinubu have anything to do with the Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students or National Association of Nigerian Students? Why does he have to be the one to choose who the leader is? Why should he have a voice in selecting who will be their chairman or president or whatever? So nobody understands what kind of politicking is at play. But a lot of Nigerians are saying this could be an administration where you call an administration of mafiadom. So it is what the king wants and who the king wants to install that will work. A couple of persons feel that is what is at play at the federal level. Well, I don't know if that is the truth, but my analyst, based on what the story is here, will be giving me an insight into what it is. Now, another interesting factor to consider, because I told you that today is quite a lot. A lot is actually happening in the country. A lot is happening in the political space. And I would now like to you that more will still happen as political developments evolve. Like I said, this is a period where Nigerians are looking at our political landscape, and you can see that the strategy or the chessboard is very much wide in the open and permutations are going rife. So, the Deputy National Chairman of the Labour Party, Ayo Olorunfemi, has cautioned Peter Obi, the party's 2023 presidential flag bearer, to disregard growing calls for him to abandon the Labour Party ahead of the 2027 elections. Now, prominent member of the People's Democratic Party, that is Shegun Showumi, in the wake of a series of defections in Delta State, had intensified his call for former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, to return to the party. Showumi's appeal comes ahead of the 2027 general elections, where he believes Obi's rejoining the PDP could help the party wrest power from the ruling All Progressives Congress. But Olorunfemi, who contested the 2024 Ondo governorship election under the Labour Party, advised Obi to concentrate on healing and strengthening the party instead of considering defection. You know that there have been quite a lot of merging, partnering. Oh, if Peter Obi goes like this, what do you think? If he goes with this person, what do you think? That's the permutation that has been going. However, some obedient movement from Delta State, the obedient movement elders from Delta State, had this to say in addressing the obedience and also an extension to Peter Obi. Let's take a listen to them.
2023 presidential elections, the Labour Party, empowered by the obedient movement, beat both parties. In fact, both the presidential candidate of the PDP and the presidential candidate of the APC, the total votes that were acquired by both of them were far below that of the Labour Party. I think the figures are there for you to see. APC got 90,000, Atiku Abubakar 160,000, and we got 364,000. So the issue is not whether they are going to win, because they will not in any free and fair election. As a matter of fact, during the last local government elections in the states, the PDP couldn't have the courage to conduct free and fair election. They had to write results secretly and come out to announce, because they knew very well that in a free and fair election, there's still no chance the people will not vote for them.
There's no political party without rancor. And at the end of the tunnel, we shall have results. Therefore, the issue has nothing to do with the present situation of the state. We are still working with one mind, focusing and having common enemy, which is APC, and we are fighting common fight to achieve our goal. Come 2027, Labour Party shall emerge with the help of obedience to claim our mandate.
If a free and fair election is being conducted, the will of the people will stand, and that is what the obedient movement stands for. We stand for good governance. We are ready to choose and elect a leader who do not have questionable character, who can defend the mandate of the people, the electorate, anytime and any day.
Yeah. Interesting. So yes, if there is going to be a free and fair election, they are going to protect the mandate of the obedient movement. Now, the presidency has reacted to the wave of defections from opposition political parties to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Aides to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have attributed the recent influx of political figures into the All Progressives Congress to the president's effective leadership. In fact, presidential aides claimed that Tinubu's leadership has stabilized the party and positioned it as the safest political shelter ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now, speaking on this development, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Temitope Ajayi, in an interview on Saturday said, and I quote, "He is not masterminding anybody to leave their party. He has made the party attractive to others who are willing to join. What he has done is make the right decisions, even though tough, some of them painfully initially. A beautiful woman will always attract suitors. So if you have made your house good, people whose houses are tattered and whose houses have no roof will naturally come to you where they can get shelter. If people say they want to come and take shelter, we won't chase them away. And that is politics. In politics, you add to your number. You don't remove your number. Politics is about getting more people on your side, not sending people away from your side." A second presidency source who spoke on condition of anonymity blamed the defections on the collapse of PDP's cohesion, arguing that there were no inducements from the Aso Rock Villa. So a lot of persons are thinking that there is inducement. A lot of persons are thinking that they are paying them or they are giving them private money. That no, they are all coming to the APC of their own accord. The president is not sending anybody. He's just minding his own governance. And that if you decide to say you want to come and join the APC, they wouldn't let you go. The more the merrier, the better for them. In 2027, the states will be their own. Even the permutation of Rivers State Governor going on to APC, some of the followers are saying, well, wherever it is we go, he goes, we will go. It's about the candidate, it's about the person, not necessarily believing or trusting the political party. And on that day of election, we know the political party to vote for. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is some of the things we're going to be discussing today on the Political Spotlight, and more of what we'll discuss will be disclosed in the course of the conversation. Today, I want to introduce my guest in the studio. It's been a very long time he actually attended or be part of the Political Spotlight. I don't know why he was running away. I beg him. Now only they take care of all the cases in this country. Barrister Joe Wokedi, good evening and happy new year to you.
Good evening, our viewers. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, VOP.
Barrister Joe, what happened? Why did you run away? I felt hurt. My heart was broken. Why?
I'm back again. No need of discussing what transpired.
No need to. Let's focus on it.
So
Barrister Joe, I'm holding you to that. Next time you have to be consistent. Now you can no longer just come once and disappear till next year. Okay?
As a couple is.
And obviously, I have right here in the studio as well, Mr. Lawal Ekundare, the voice of the people. Mr. Lawal, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening. I'm still Mr. Lawal.
Before I call, you want to be another person? How was your Sunday?
Yeah.
I'm saying because the day is almost done,
Yeah.
Church, resting, everything, eating rice. And did you eat chicken?
Sure, we'll do that on Sundays these days.
Anyway, that's true. That's one important thing to consider.
Okay.
All right, I want to say thank you and welcome you to the program, the Political Spotlight. We do this here every Sunday from 6:30 to obviously 8:30 p.m. I'm going to start with you, Barrister John Wokede. You know what is currently going on in the country. I've been able to highlight some of these things to you. So let me start off with the case of Sheyi Tinubu. So there are complaints already that he's placing stooges, that the local government elections to take place in July 12. We are now hearing some complaints and grumblings that some of these candidates, some persons are asking them to step down so they can put their desired candidates. And the permutation is that this is just for a smooth sail or a soft landing for him in 2027. He has not come out to actualize or categorically state that he wants to become the governor by 2027. But his loyalists have been, putting that in the media. They've been talking about it. Do you think it's possible that the APC would allow him, the president's son, to make any form of inducement in the local government elections, and that those who know that they have worked to become what they want to become will just easily allow themselves to be replaced? and be put in by somebody that is a preference to the president's son?
The point is that, a proverb had it that he who sows the seed of the wind will reap the fruit of the whirlwind. I've been in Lagos since 1994 or thereabouts, from 91, 93, 94 thereabouts. So I've actually actively followed up Lagos politics, even more than that of my state of origin. So you made mention of APC. Who is APC?
They're all progressive.
Who is APC in Lagos State?
Who is APC?
Who is APC in Lagos State? Sheyi Tinubu's father is APC. And APC is Sheyi Tinubu's father. And he's the president of Nigeria. Everything about APC stops at his desk. And this is the son. And then again, in Nigerian politics, in broader perspective, especially regarding local government election, have they ever conducted free and fair local government election in Nigeria? Have you seen places that opposition parties or any other party won 6 at local government election? Like you have a mixture of people from other parties from a local government election, PDP won, Labour won, APC won. You haven't seen. It's been long we saw that. What we usually see is that the ruling party in that state clinging all the 6 of local government. How they do it, we don't know. But all I know is that we have not had a participatory democracy at the level of local government. It's always dictatorial, dictated by either the governor or the party, the henchman of the party, the head of the cabal in that state. And who is the head of the cabal in Lagos? It's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Even in Nigeria at the moment, as far as APC is concerned, the head of the cabal is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And Sheyi Tinubu is the son. Okay, what are they complaining? Okay, there was a time in Lagos State, I cannot remember the year, that PDP won like 6 local government elections, council elections. They didn't allow them to even be sworn into office. Even Abanikuro's son, I think, won at Lagos Island. He was not allowed to rule.
He was not allowed?
He was not allowed. Even they still used court to get him out.
Wow.
He couldn't be allowed to take that position because the godfathers didn't want opposition to hold any office in Lagos State outside APC.
So are you saying that all the local governments in Lagos State is one party?
It's one party. Even in other states, because they copied it from Lagos, it's all over Nigeria. You hardly see a place in Imo State, the one Hope Uzodinma conducted.
Yes.
Did any other party win there? The one Saudo conducted in Anambra, did any other party win there?
So this whole talk about the fact that we're sliding to a one-party system, we're sliding to a one-party system at the federal level.
What is happening to APC in Lagos State is implosion. That's why you saw the Brenda woman and the speaker, the current speaker now, Abasa having issues. It's implosion. They've smartly edged opposition. Opposition is no longer their problem. They've smartly buried opposition in Lagos State, the PDP and the rest of them. So they're now having issues within their own hierarchy. That's where the problem is. And nobody will stop Sheyi Tinubu from exercising his political rights. He's an adult. He's a Lagosian, he's a Nigerian, he's above 18 years. He has the right to vote and be voted for.
He's a Lagosian. Is the president a Lagosian?
He is a Lagosian.
The president is not a Lagosian.
Well, I don't know how you want to define a Lagosian.
No, he's not. The president is not a Lagosian.
Somebody that have actually been a governor of Lagos, somebody that actually grew up.
But sir, most of them at the Lagos state government are not Lagosians. So some of them are from Ogun State, Kwara State. They're not all Lagosians.
That is your own understanding. As far as political calculation and political definition of Lagosian, Sheyi Tinubu is a Lagosian to the extent that the father even became a governor. Someone that became number one person in the state, and you still say it's not a Lagosian.
No, Barrister Joe Nwokedi, at the political space in Lagos, the aborigines, the indigenes of Lagos, I don't even think they're really into politics. Are you an indigene
that cannot exercise your rights?
Maybe
that can't even win elections, that can't even dictate what happens to your place. And you said, what kind of indigene are you? You're an indigene. You have you don't determine what happens to you. You don't determine even local government, even council election, even senatorial election, even House of Reps election. You can be a governor, you can be a speaker. I mean, who is an indigene of that place? Stricto sensu, the person that calls the shot that determines everything, or the person that just by the side and go to shoot be there to go and rant. We have to be realistic. Political indigeneship Chieftain is an indigenous of Lagos. Is a Lagosian.
Based on the whole political
definition of indigenship. He is. You can talk of the other ones, but politically he is. So he has the right to express himself. And as an adult, he has the right to have his own ambition. I'm not holding forth for him. Because I'm saying what goes around comes around. When other stakeholders were playing their internal game in APC, packaging everything, edging people out, thinking that they can. Now, somebody has come out and they want to pay them in their own coins. Why are they complaining? Why are they complaining? Look at what happened in the House of Assembly. Because even the sitting governor was kind of humiliated, was pushed into silence. Being the kind of person he is, someone he kept quiet. Do you think that the governor is happy? Happy. Do you think that the governor is happy? So, you know, when you support evil, it might just beget other major evil demons and come back to haunt you. So whatever that Sheyi is doing, the Lagos political players should be comfortable with that. It is something they have actually built. It's a seed they planted. That is.
So why are these guys now coming out to complain if they know that that's how the whole thing is?
As far as I'm concerned, I've actually, like I said, that I don't want to say, I've been in Lagos for years. It started from my secondary school. I know how they write names of those out. Even somebody told me in confidence that his brother is going to be the next chairman of Barega.
Just like that?
Yes. Somebody said the one of Jodubega. These are the places I've actually lived. Someone told me again around another one at Ikeja local government. These things, you know them ahead of time.
Like the one that is going on in Agege right now. Obasa's son.
So do they contest it? And even after they have done all those permutations, you still send the list to Bodilion. Bodilion, we've had the list. I know one young boy, then I was like, how can this boy be a chairman? I said, the father is a staunch member of Tinubu's caucus. So they just put him there. Wow. So it's not about you expressing your interest. That you want to have asked them near opposite, what they call it, this sided banty. I suppose that they say, this is the one that will go. All these other ones just want to this is the one that, even amongst Tinubu's boys, he will still select the right person to be there. He might tell you, oh, you're not going again. Even though you have done well, that the other person will come in. And you have no right to say anything. Challenge it.
But so don't you think that's
at his own whims and caprices?
Don't you think that's a dangerous political precedence? When you're no longer when you're no longer in the picture, what then happens?
It has been there and it paid off. It made him president. You don't tell people to drop something that works for him.
No, and we're not saying it doesn't pay off, but is there anybody he's grooming to continue from where he stopped? Because
that's what the son is doing now, and people are complaining.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the son has the right to take up from father's political dynasty, and to do so, he has to be involved. He has to begin to plant his own people there.
So, are we saying now the speculation about the mafiadom, by some persons or one person?
You call it, people have those that are very submitted to it, that use whatever terminology or whatever description to clothe it with legality, should be comfortable with it.
Okay, whatever.
Most of us, or other people in Lagos, whoever they give us, we take. We are not part of whatever, because it's not something you go and vote.
Yeah.
Your vote will never count. Your voice will never count. Your participation will never count.
Your participation, your voice will never count.
Okay. It will never count. So it is their own internal issue. However they resolve it is their business. Whoever they bring out to be the chairman of Shomolu, Barega, Isolo, Ikeja, Kosofe, Mushi, whatever, we will take and begin to work with that person. The day they will tell us that person is no longer the person they want, they bring in another person, we take that person and begin to work with the person. So because imposition has been going on and some stakeholders have actually been applauding it. So why are they not complaining? Tinubu is Tinubu's son. Anybody coming to challenge him in Lagos is making a terrible mistake. It's only if the father cautions him. The only one that will deal with Tinubu in Lagos is the father. If
so any ranting online does not make any difference.
The father keeps mute about whatever he's doing, and then
means he has to go ahead.
Endorsement. So as a shrewd politician, what do? You align. You align with him.
Wow.
How do you fight him? He has money, he has capacity, he has power, he has influence, he has security apparatus. He has the father as the president. So where will you start?
So does it mean that for 2027 it's already done?
No, for Lagos State, we're not talking about Nigeria.
Okay, well, but if people are already complaining that what is going on in Lagos is being replicated at the federal level, if you're seeing mass defections from other opposition to the APC.
Federal level, because of its dynamics, it's not a place you can say for sure what will exactly happen.
Okay.
You might have all the money, all the security, whatever. If they want to reject you, especially they know they will reject you. If you come by violence, they come and kill you and do whatever. You go back in money in body bags. So in that place, because I've known someone during the time of Jonathan's election with all the money and whatever, and Inakakos told me, look, there's a way they behave. They may not want to, even if you want to spend billions or whatever there. Okay. They might do it last minute, they'll give them order on what to do, they'll go and do it. And they might even come with whatever. They're not like certain people here that are so civilized and so sure. They'll come with weapons and whatever. The people you see will just intimidate you to do anything for them.
So could it be that
only if their leaders are with you and they want to write it. And there they also, they say where they do the election too.
Wow.
It's not something that their leaders will easily manipulate, except if they agree.
So could it be that this offshoot of insecurity across the country and some states is politically motivated?
Although they had those places, they've had a history of all those crises. They've always have those, history of having crises. It's not something that predated even democracy.
Yeah,
they've actually been having right ancient time, but just like sometimes it will escalate depending on how they manage it and how the security agent, the complicity of the security agents. Do you understand the point? Just if it happens, it has to do with somebody and the control of corridors of power and the military apparatus who is manning it. Sometimes when they change the person manning military, kind of garrisons or whatever within that area, the whole thing will stop.
But if we're seeing a lot of persons now defecting to the APC, for example, Tom Polo, he's actually vying support and saying that they don't want anybody to cause problems. Tinubu should be allowed to complete his 2 terms.
Let me tell you that some people that are bread and butter people, human beings, they always go to where they believe that they will have federal protection, federal presence, look for control, where their sins will be covered.
Well, he's actually one of their major contractors. Yes, he's overseeing some of the pipelines there.
What was that? His Tiffany, whatever, security
yes.
he has.
Tantita.
Or something like that. So he's benefiting from the government, from the roads. So what do you expect him to do? To pray for change of government that may not favor him? That's the problem I have with all these activists. That's why I always tell some of the lawyers that claim to be activists. I say, look, don't get so close to any leader. Don't take a brief for any government in power, no matter how good.
Okay.
You may not know how his political career may turn out to be tomorrow, and it's either you align with him, and if you align with him, you destroy the whole of your years of activism and profile and everything. You end up, going uncelebrated as an activist. So the best thing to do is just like, if they do something good, speak good of them. If they do something bad, criticize them. So they will know that you're not for them and not against them. Then with that, you maintain your voice.
With a state of emergency declared in Rivers, Asari Dokubo has eventually gone numb. He's no longer talking. We've not even heard his voice.
He's a kind of person. Asari Dokubo can never, he's always, threatening, but he can never fight without the backup of the federal government. So you'll always find a way to be. Have you ever seen Asari Dokubo declared war against federal government?
No.
He will not do that. So his backup has always been federal government, military power, structure, and everything. Because they will just come after, they will go after him and destroy him. He will only talk when he has the backup of either a strong governor of a state, or a strong federal presence. I don't even regard him. Gathering some boys and give them money and put them in uniform and carry umbrella with his heavy stomach and can that guy run for 30 minutes?
Can't even stand.
In the creeks. Does he look like even a retired soldier? Can he even trek for 30 minutes?
He's always sitting down.
Fencing.
I thought he even had an elephantiasis. I don't
know why they give that guy some kind of credibility. For me...
No, it was because he used to be a very strong Niger Delta militant that advocated for change.
Because if you want to be a fighter, you fight to die. There was time I was in school, I was a very stubborn activist. I told my mom I can die anytime. I told my parents, look, count me as a dead man. What I do can kill me anytime. So if you hear that I'm dead, just bury me. Because now I'm confronting anything that I don't like. And they might kill me at any time. And I don't care.
And you were ready for it?
Yes. So when somebody would talk to me, I say, I've already died though. I'm already a dead man, just waiting for when it will happen.
Wow.
And when I did my 30, I said, thank God I was able to reach 30 years. This is fantastic. Because if you're an activist,
yes,
you'll be ready to die any day. The first thing you do is to go and make a pact with death that you can be killed any day. But once you're not, because when you take up a course, it must be people oriented. And it will be in confrontation, in collision with the power that be. Because powers that be will not want people that will tell them the truth. No matter how they pretend to be, many of them will not want that. They'll always want to carry out kind of nefarious activity or insidious kind of plans or against the opposition. They won't allow opposition to exist because they will be scared of the opposition. But when you walk, sometimes we tell them walk, do the necessary things, and stop being scared of opposition. Okay, look at defections now.
I'm telling you.
What for? Why are you scared of losing election? Why are you scared of being probed? You are afraid of being probed by EFCC. You are scared of losing the election because you are not sure of what you have done. If you are sure of dividends of democracy you have given to the people, look, you are already a governor. Even if they remove you, you go home. You go home.
But that's not it for them.
That you go home, whatever you have. We saw that in Second Republic. People are ready to, if they lose the election, they go home. They live their lives. People that were removed through queue through under Babangida and Buhari when they struck as military people, then they went home. They live their normal life.
But
just now, you hardly see anybody that will take political office that want to leave that corridor of power again.
Onapasa is saying something different.
It's just very, very
Onapasa is saying that the president may literally just do one term, that he has failed woefully. But Nigerians are taking his words with a pinch of salt because he's a staunch supporter of the president, possibly because he wasn't recognized and he wasn't given anything. And so he says speaking against the government. Due to time.
But you cannot say he might be convinced. Let me tell you.
Convinced? Are you sure? A staunch supporter?
You might be if a sincere supporter might turn out to become your opponent later. A sincere supporter might be convinced that you may perform. When I was going for the governor of my hostel, there are people that wanted to die because of me. As I didn't perform, they might also begin to tell the people, look, this guy has turned out to be something else. Do you understand my point? This wasn't the personality I thought. Because no matter whoever you are, there is no art, according to my bet, to find mind's construction on the face. Bible even say the heart is more than evil. Who can know it? So no matter how good somebody may present himself to be, let me shock you. There are some people that genuinely believe that Tinubu will perform. There are some people that supported Tinubu from the bottom of their hearts, from the genuineness of their hearts. They believe that Tinubu will perform and do fantastic job in Nigeria. Me, I never had that conviction because I know Tinubu when he was governor, 1999 to whichever. I know what he did. I know he's all this feel-good kind of person, settle the people, share money, settle the power brokers, allow loose kind of funds, enter into so many hands of people, and then capture power and use that and go. He never did anything fantastic in Lagos. It was when Fashola came in, I began to see dividends of democracy, began to see flyovers, we began to see flowers, we began to see bus stops, dangerous bus stop, Oshodi, Obalande, so many of them, celeb bus stop, everything being beautified, hoodlums being, do you understand my point? We began to feel presence of a governor in Lagos under Fashola. Then Ambode came in and amplified it. We began to feel it. Tinubu was just like maintaining his people, just maintaining people.
Okay.
And that was why he was very strong, because he made sure he maintained so many people. You make noise, he will say you. Even lawyers, and he met them, so many people, interest group, human rights groups, advocacy groups, all those things, market groups, whatever. Tinubu will keep on settling you.
All right, Mr. Lawal. Okay, Mr.
Lawal. Whatever he's saying. But sometimes we always want them. People that will just support a government that people would say that they will not perform. And when they begin to fail, you come back again to become a good person. Remain there. Remain that person you are supporting. Keep on supporting that person.
All right, Mr. Lawal Kundari, how are you? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mr. Lawal, so the chairman of Agatu local government in Benue State, James Melvin Eje, has given Fulani headsmen a 48-hour notice to leave all agricultural lands. This announcement was made during a stakeholders meeting on Saturday, April 26, at the council secretariat in Obagaji. The meeting included traditional leaders, representatives from the Fulani community, youth leaders, and security personnel to discuss the increasing concerns regarding herders' activities on farmland as the planting season nears. The chief press secretary to Agatu local government area, Obochi Solomon, reported that Eje highlighted the importance of safeguarding agricultural activities in Agatu and that agriculture is essential to the local economy. So right now, the traditional leaders are saying we are no longer going to try to be nice, but you have to leave. Why did the governor not take this step? Hyacinth Aliyah, why did he not take this decisive step action that the traditional leaders are taking in Benue State?
It's because we always. I've said it that we don't have leaders. We just have just people
Puppets.
who find themselves there and then they just do, because these people are not leaders. They are like fathers, irresponsible fathers. You don't care where your children come home. You don't care what they eat. You don't care. You get drunk. You get home a drunkard. You don't care. So who will call you a father? Can your children call you a father? These are what we see. These are the type of leaders we see. That's why you say that. I've told you many times, they should come and tell Nigerians what did they do with their security vote. What's the meaning of security? If security means, they should tell us what's their own definition of security, because they collect security vote. You get it? And your state is in a state of insecurity. What word do you have to say? You have no moral standard to say any word. It's action that's needed, because you have been given all the resources. Even if you don't control army, you don't control the police, you control fund, you control money, you control resources, you control people, you control land. It's enough for you to do something very, very substantial in maintaining security in your area. And they come out and I just look at them as these are irresponsible leaders. These are not governors. They are just opportunists. Where your people you say you represent are being killed, people you say you will vote for you are being killed, you get it, are being displaced, their source of livelihood are taken away from them, then who are you governing? Your office and the money that is given to you. Is that what you are governing? You are governing money and your office. Is that what you are governing? Human resources are not part of what you govern. China is one of the world powers today because of one thing: human resources. Human resources developed China. That is why when Trump started his trade war in order to bring industries back to America, the industrialists, the investors said, do you have technicians? Do you have the number of technicians that we have in China? Your own are technologists and scientists and this and that and that, but there they have people who screw nuts, bolts, clean things, package. You have that number. So if you bring it, you have that number to fill that area. You don't have it. Go and build that one first before you now begin to talk about that. Now, so you can say that China is ruling the world because they are making use of one major thing: human resources. And in your state, the same human resources that some people are banking on is the same thing you are losing, and you are telling us you are governing. Who are you governing? You are governing land, empty land. You are governing buildings. You are governing what? The money that is sent to you from Abuja. Because I don't know how you make resources. Your internet, how do you generate internet, your resources from it? Your IGR. Tell me, where is it coming? Because the IGR doesn't come without the people. You get it? Can you count mountains as IGR? Can you go to mountains and say, I want to collect I want to tax you? Is it not the people who make use of that land that you tax? So how do you get that IGR? If your people are being killed and been displayed, and then you are governor, you are not governor. You are nobody. You are just an opportunist. All and right. That's why these traditional rulers are taking. They are doing what is necessary, because people have been complaining to them that you are closer to us. Some of you, even these politicians will go to you, convince you to convince us to vote for them. And then we'll come and vote for them, and then they are misbehaving. Therefore, we need to come back to you. And that's why these traditional rulers are coming up to take their responsibility to speak for their people. And that's why you are seeing them. I want this thing, duplicated all over the country. Because that's why if you see, look at what the democracy in Europe is doing very well. Let me take Spain. Let me take UK or maybe the Netherlands as an example. They have kings. They have monarchs. Monarch is the head of the government.
Mr. Lawal Kundaro, somebody has said here that please, when you want to critique and analyze Nigeria's ish, you should not use those advanced nations. That you should try to even use countries that are supposedly in the same political space
that
or
like
economic whatever. So that there is a problem. For example, right now, the Burkina Faso president Ibrahim Traore, there's a lot going on with him ever since he took over power. So apparently, USA General Michael Langley, he's facing criticism for accusing Burkina Faso's president Ibrahim of using the country's gold reserves to protect himself. So a space was opened, space that is on Twitter, where conversations were held, and they were like, "Excuse me, Mr. US, whoever you are, what is your business with Burkina Faso's gold? Since when were you concerned about the people? So is it the gold or is it the people of Burkina Faso you're interested in? So are you now trying to fight for the people by saying the gold, which is their natural reserve, which is what they basically use as a form of trade, you're saying he's using it to protect himself? So what? So you want to visit Burkina Faso? You want to stage a war? You want to decapitate the place? You want to make their political landscape unstable? And it's so bad because some Nigerians now lent their voice. They said, oh yes, that is the thing. That is why military rule is not good. And that they staged a protest in the UK in support of this guy, in support of this US Michael Langley against the Ibrahim Traore. And so Burkina Faso's residents, some of them now came on X to say, Nigeria, do not use your influence to put your mouth in this thing. This has nothing to do with you. We are happy with our leader. He's doing well for us. The US just wants to destabilize, and it's because we've asked the French to leave. So the question now is this: you have DRC Congo, obviously they fight the instability in their politics because of their natural resource. You have what happened in Kenya, obviously the IMF rules and regulations, what they wanted to implement, the people said no. So what's going on in Cameroon? They've had a president who is now 90 something years old. He has been the president since 1980 something, and there's no growth, no economic viability, no stability. Why do we have a decadence in politicking, in politics, in governance with African, specifically West African and Central African nations? What is the problem with them having to consider their people first and not themselves? All about power. To be honest with you, let's look at that. Because if the governor of a state did not intend to ensure that this particular terrorist terrorizing his state, he was waiting for the federal government to speak and told his people to please not react or respond. They should drop their arms. They should not retaliate. That they're synergizing with the federal government security agency, and they will synergize with a strategy to tackle this. It took about 2 or 3 weeks for the traditional leaders to say, we're giving you 48 hours, leave this place. We no longer want that. What is the problem?
Let me tell you something. Let me clarify some things. You get it? Because I'm an educationist and I teach. And I've gone all around the Department of Education. See, there's what we refer to as comparative education. We have comparative politics. We have comparative economics. You get it?
Yes.
We have Why do you have to compare? Where do you have people? Do you ask what is embassy of another country doing in your country? Because they want to see how you are doing your own and see how they can learn from you and beat you to it. That is why you have embassies. People, you begin to, what is embassy doing in Nigeria? Why do you have Nigerian embassy in the UK? And we are paying them heavily. The reason why they are there, so to learn how they do their things there, you get it, and see how we can imbibe some things that will be useful to us. That's why they have their own embassy here. They see your resources. They see how they can make use of your resources. You get it? How they can do good trading and it will benefit them. And people will say, don't compare. How do you grow? Let me wait. Sir. In 1960 something, Nigerian money was greater than dollar. Is that not true? In 1960 something, Nigerian economy was far better than Chinese economy. Is that not true?
We even used to loan to the UK, the US, this IMF. World great power. We used to loan to the IMF.
How many Asian country or Middle East country is as good as Nigeria in 1960 something, even 1970 to 80 something?
We had their people coming here to look for jobs.
They keep falling, they keep growing. You know why? Because they learn from us. They saw what we are doing, they saw how we are doing it, and they use it against us. We say no, we are not doing anything. Okay, let me give you a good example. Look at football. Why is Saudi Arabia buying footballers from Europe at a very, very high rate? They will offer you more money than Europe is offering you for you to come to Saudi. Do you know why? Because they see that football can develop the country They make huge money.
And
Even
gives
what
the
they
country a
make
good
from
name.
football is more than what they make from oil. What they make from the oil. You get it? And they want to revive their own. And you are telling us we can't complain. Now you are talking about somebody a trial, people talking on earth. Those how many of those people in Burkina Faso has access to X to this social media? And you are talking this one.
They do. They a couple of their elite.
How many? No, we are talking.
What are you referring? Wait, now.
We are not talking about the elite. We are talking about the masses.
Okay, what are you referring to? How many of those people in Burkina Faso have access to?
Because you keep telling us that because they complain about somebody taking their good.
No, it's not about complaint. Please have a better understanding of what I am saying. This is what happened. The USA General Michael Langley is being criticized because according to him, he's saying that Burkina Faso's president Ibrahim Traore is using their own country's gold reserve to protect
Burkina
themselves.
Gold,
is their gold resource. So the question now is, what is your business? What is your interference with what Burkina Faso is doing with their own natural resource? How is that a concern of yours? What is your business? How is it the fact that Burkina Faso is using the gold to, he's protecting, okay, so the resources of a nation, what would they use it to protect? Is it not themselves? Okay, what facts do you have that he's using to protect themselves? If the people of Burkina Faso are happy with their leader, they're happy with the military rule, they're happy with the man, they're protecting the man, what is your concern with their natural reserve? Okay, Barrister John Wokedi, let me come to you. There's this permutation, right? That, for example, Africa has been programmed that they cannot rule themselves, that the impute of the West is needed for them to organize themselves. They come and extort, take advantage of their resources, bring in some kind of mileage and whatever decision making on how they can utilize it. Then they extort their resources, leave a tiny percentage for them, take advantage of their greed, and obviously put the people at a disadvantage. And it has been happening over time. What is the business of a US general with Burkina Faso's gold?
That is the conspiracy of the West against Africa. Now, the problem we have in Africa, there was the time of civil war. Russia was having a serious issue with America and Britain, just coming from the Second World War. But Russia joined the war. And when they were asking them, you're not a friend of America and not a friend of Britain, why did you join the civil war? They said that because they want to stop that development coming from that part of Africa, which might be a threat to Europe. Do you understand my point? They had that people have technology, are technologically inclined, so that they believe that the people fighting that war are technologically inclined, and they don't want them to rise up, that they will be a threat to Europe and America. That was why Russia joined the war. They were not friends of Britain, and they were not friends of US, but they just finished Second World War. They joined the war because of that. So what I'm telling you that there is this conspiracy of the West against Africa. Whenever they export any African country trying to make success, it's always a threat. If you put up a table, Africa is like a people carrying table on top of people playing chessboard, eating and drinking. Europeans are eating and drinking and having good time on top upon the head of Africans. So the very day they will pull out from the bottom part of that table, the whole table will collapse, and that's Europe. And they know it, especially Europe and America.
Is it the same thing they did to Libya?
What my friend rightly said now about America not having certain kind of workforce. They don't have it.
Yeah.
They don't have the kind of workforce that can endure under the sun, under the rain, that can do so many things. They don't have them. The same way they don't have natural resources to fund, like France. Pull out West African sub-region and the colonies, France will collapse. Yes, they know that. They will collapse. What major products do they have in the world? What major things are people importing from France? Do they have a way of manipulating their colonies, extorting their goods and other things, and then maximizing profits and giving them stipends, keeping them in perpetuity, raising leaders that are anti-people, and then keeping those leaders, funding them, giving them whatever they like, they want, living luxurious life within themselves and their families and their few cronies at the expense of the public, the people. And it has been going on for years. And as far as you are complying with their own dictates and their own methodology or whatever, you're a good leader, you'll be allowed to last. The very moment
like with Cameroon's leader,
yes, they'll find a way to eliminate.
And that was what they did to the Libyan president Gaddafi.
They've done it to so many African leaders.
Idi Amin. Abacha too. Do you think Abacha too is one of those persons?
But Abacha was going pro-Asia.
Okay. And they didn't want that.
They were not comfortable with that. because it is called survivalist tendency.
So why do we have leaders who don't see this? For example, the president is actually implementing the IMF's policy on our economy.
What happened during 2023 election when people hoped that America will intervene?
Okay.
And Nigeria released this kind of FBI reports on the president.
Yes, yes.
Why they suddenly change their minds? Because they want a leader they can bargain with. They want a leader they can have in his dossier. They want a leader they'll find a way to like hold you at a certain level that you cannot do whatever you want for your people. They'll dictate to you what you will do. So if you have a clean mind, a clean slate, and clean everything, they may not excite that control. And when they can, they'll find a way to. You know, they always play this game of democracy. That's where they usually get Africans. And they will raise someone up, begin to supply that person with in fact, they say that we even take somebody out of your own soil, bring you to your own soil, and train you. You feel special. Well with Western education and everything, and then return you to your country. We so aim on destabilizing that country, and it's your citizen, your own citizen that will take him there. They will now raise human rights. They will raise equality before the law. They will raise voice must be heard. And then people will begin to listen to that people, thinking that he's championing their own cause, not knowing that he's playing the script of the Western world. And because human beings are inherently selfish.
Exactly.
Human beings are inherently selfish. The person that will destabilize a country will not even bother. He won't even mind recruiting more people. They will even bring in arms. There will be war there, there will be fracas there, there will be crisis there. They will supply arms, empower the person, and convince people they want to chase away the leader, maybe being a Sittite, they didn't want to conduct an election.
Like what happened with Jonathan?
Then come up with, I can remember what one woman said, that how British people poisoned the hearts of some minorities around Eastern region against the Igbos. That they took time to like do that. Because they have
brainwashed them.
Yes, because they know that the regional government in Nigeria was actually a threat to Europe. The Western world, the Western country, the Western Nigeria, led by Wolo, that it was very, very progressive and doing very, very well. The northern people, by Ahmadu Bello, they were people oriented. The Southeast was already patterned their government, their system doing very, very well. They didn't want it. So they wanted to destabilize Nigeria. They have to prop up a kind of reaction. When they saw an avenue, they begin to like poison. They just let there be war, let there be instability, and after that, this country will never remain again, and Nigeria never remained the same. But Nigerians did not know that was a prosy conspiracy in the West against
especially
Nigeria.
When oil was discovered.
Yes, but the Nigerians may think that they are fighting Igbo, fighting Hausa, fighting Yoruba. But the people at the back, they have their own agenda.
Keep them divided and distracted.
Just when we're in school, we may have agenda. We call it 1 and 1. Me, I want to use 3 of you. But you may not know, I just want to like rule this Oshodi. So I will recruit you that we have to rule this Oshodi. That some guys in this Oshodi are so terrible that we have to deal with them. You now, we form 4 and 1. But me, I have my own agenda myself, which I will not communicate to you. Then 3 of us now say, okay, you know what to do now. We are going to convince these other people that are going to join us, but they will not know so and so. They will not know that we want to use this to share the money in Ocean. Agenda is to share the revenue in Ocean. But me, I want to carry the major money and use 3 of you to get the money and get larger share. And they want to share the money. They will not go and tell the people, the market people, we want to make Ocean better. Ocean should be good, but we'll place them to be head of the market, and they will believe they'll join us again. Another expanded agenda. Then all of us will now go and tell people, Oshodi, I want to liberate Oshodi. Lord, is a stupid man that he has taken all your resources, all your destiny, everything that make your children to grow. But 3 of us, we know to just it's Oshodi resources we are targeting. But those people in the field will start shouting, Operation Liberate Oshodi, Operation Liberate Oshodi, and they will come to the crusade.
Do you think that is what is at play? Do you think that's what is at play now?
Yes, and
in Nigeria's politics, do you think that's what is at play now?
I have a contrary opinion.
You have a contrary opinion. Okay.
Me, I have my own agenda of like using 3 of you. You have agenda of what looting the economy.
Okay.
But the grand agenda will be somewhere there. But they can never succeed in doing that thing without you, the people, conceding to it.
Okay.
So what we always tell African people is that always put your country first. Put, no matter however juicy, no matter however attractive, whatever condition they may give you might be, put your country first. Just know that nobody will love your country more than yourself. No foreigner will come and tell you how bad your country is, and you believe that foreigner when he's not. First and foremost, study that love coming from an outsider. Review that love. dissect that love. Why would an outsider love me more than myself? Do you understand my point now? So for America to begin to, they're fronting for French people. They're fronting for France. Yes. America is playing big brother within that axis, apart from Russia. Russia is the one upsetting the apple carts now, trying to align with China and India. India is still neither here nor there. But China is almost pro-Russia with South Africa and some of them. You can see Trump now calling South African president to come and have a talk because they know they're losing South Africa and they want that base there. So that is what they do. They don't want, because they always tell us about democracy.
All right.
I was telling somebody, imagine Obasanjo still being Nigerian president till now. I'm not saying that we should be, but imagine Obasanjo with his reforms, the growing of economy then, our GDP, our foreign debt that was paid and everything, with that tempo still be present in, do you know how Nigeria would have been like? But democracy destabilized it.
Oh, you said you had something contrary to say.
Democracy, but democracy destabilized it and removed him. And they will start having Buhari, brought in someone like a chaotic person like Buhari. We have Jonathan that was so docile, that would drink and then not take action. They will have Tinubu that came here with feel good, can loot anything. Tinubu can loot. I'm telling it, Tinubu has tendency of looting anything. When Tinubu was trying to become president, I told him everything would be so much in. You know what saved us? Nigerians are very, very lucky people. The only thing that saved us was Dangote that Buhari gave license and commissioned that refinery before leaving.
Wow, Buhari, that was why Buhari wanted to.
So they have given Dangote every material
needed,
document needed to operate. So Tinubu couldn't stop him. If they have captured that oil and gas, by now we have been buying 1 liter 2,000. If they have captured that oil and gas, if Tinubu's cabal had captured oil and gas, put it and unilaterally decide what happens there, I'm telling you, by now we have been buying fuel 2,000 naira per liter.
But NPC has a stake too.
But they cannot. Dangote is like a spoiler there, so he'll always bust out. He'll always sell 1 or 2 things. He'll always
like he exposed the whole mortar refinery thing. When they wanted to ruin the whole thing, he said, "Okay, let me sell it to you."
Yes, Dangote is a spoiler in that sector now. So they don't know how to handle Dangote's affairs. And being from the north and the kind of person he is, and the kind of respect he has in the world, he can spill the beans. So what I'm telling you that I knew Tinubu would behave like that. That's why if you watch since Tinubu became president, I don't go to the media to talk or whatever, because I knew this is what will eventually happen.
But he says that he's building the economy, his policies are working. He's trying to bring in the regional system.
When he was governor, he increased IGR and then they squandered them. I say I have insiders in all this government, especially Lagos and myself. I have insiders. They increase Tinubu will increase everything. And then they pick the money. These guys are feel good. If it's somebody, it's a different kind of squad.
Yeah, people are calling for him to come back now.
It's a different kind of squad. They had these guys that even this Sanwo-Olu, it's not so terrible like that.
He's not terrible, though. I like Sanwo-Olu.
Sanwo-Olu is allowed to. Sanwo-Olu has good mind.
Yes.
Like someone like Oshibanjo would have been a fantastic guy. But Tinubu is a terrible spender. That's why he said what money cannot do, more money can do. And that is his orientation. So there is no amount of money that will be enough for them. There is no amount of money that will be enough for them.
Mr. Lawal Akundayo, you said you had a contrary opinion to what you wanted to say.
Yes. How many minutes did you give me?
Just like, let's say 3 minutes, because we need to open the phone line. So just go straight to the point.
Now, the first question I want to ask Nigerians is who induced Nigerians to vote for leaders that are not using your resources very well? I'm part of politician. I'm a politician. I'm part of my politics. I've contested before in my area and things like that.
For local government?
Yes.
Really? Yay!
No, I'm talking about masses to vote. Okay. When it comes to voting, masses' conscience are always bought over. They are given materials in order to vote for them. You get it?
Yes,
now, is it the same Europe? You get that induce you with 5,000 naira, induce you with 2 packs of noodles, induce you with spaghetti, or induce you with 1 year, 4 years of akara to vote for that leader that you know is incapable. You get it? Now, leaders are presented to you.
Wait, let me answer you. Do you know what they do in football? They have finishing touches. You know, goalkeepers don't score goal.
No.
Strikers actually finish the jobs.
Okay, so you are saying wait, you are saying that it is Europe that gave them the money
they play their own role.
Wait, sir.
For instance,
Barrister, wait, you are missing the question.
No.
I am asking
the point.
this question. This question, listen very well.
I'm coming in now.
No, who is it Europe that induce the minds of Nigerians to collect, you get it, material reward in order to vote for a candidate?
No, but Europe, like I said, it's like
maybe you can say
it's like a part by parts kind of role. Europeans have a place they play their own role. Like during Chibok bring
in
back
2014,
Obama had a meeting with the northern governors and called them to Washington and whatever. They play a role of protecting reactions, protecting wider kind of condemnation, and giving subtle approval to those things. So the players already emboldened. Okay, look at ICJ, all this international
criminal court of justice. Yeah,
they can prosecute these people. They can fight. They can change visa. They can arrest them abroad or whatever. But they play their own role of. They say when your father sends you to go and steal, when you get there, use your legs to break it up. And sometimes also get fundings. Do you know they bring in dollars?
So you have not see.
No, the money they
what is
share.
the response that you want to get?
The money they share to the people. Yes. People collect money. A hungry person will collect money.
But it doesn't stop you from voting for whom you want to vote for.
It doesn't stop you. When elections are conducted, people vote. Even with that money, the person might not win, but he will rig and will cry to agencies and international organizations, international human rights group or whatever. They will never show up.
Why would they show up? You have told them not to interfere. So why would they show up? You said they shouldn't interfere. That they are interfering.
So your contrary notion is what?
Now they are showing up in Burkina Faso.
Yes, in DRC Congo.
They showed up in Congo. They showed up in Libya. They showed up where they did not want what is going on there. Where they secretly approve what is going on there. They'll say they'll
see.
I need you to go to your contrary
because it took part of my time. Okay. Now you have answered my question.
Yes.
But your explanation is going against your answer.
Okay.
You said no. You get it. You said no. See,
to some extent now we say
wait. Now there's something like.
Explain. Don't worry. Go ahead, Mr. Lawal.
Now what I'm trying to say is this. No thief will enter a house without a thief in that house. You get it? So I don't blame the thief that is coming outside.
You're saying no thief will enter a house if it's not permitted to enter.
Yes. No, I'm coming. Wait. And I'm not talking about the leaders now.
Okay.
I'm talking about the followers. I'm talking about the Nigerian masses. Now, that's why I don't talk about when you blame anybody from outside. I don't do that. Because I've seen countries, you get it, who have grown beyond Europe, and they are doing very well. In fact, Europe goes to them. You get it? China, Korea, South Korea. You are talking about Japan, Taiwan. You are talking about India. You are talking about Canada. You are talking about so many. South Africa. They have grown beyond all these people. They are even coming to them for assistance. You know why? Because those ones they fix their country. When you fix your country, everybody is fighting for resources internationally. You also know that our country, our leaders.
What you're saying now is that nobody forced the masses.
The senator that was the general that was organizing protests.
We did it in Nigeria.
Yes.
Barrister, do you remember? Let my people breathe. Let my people breathe. You remember that George Floyd?
The death of George
Floyd
during the administration of Trump
in Nigeria here. It's not our business.
The whole Black Lives Matter thing.
That Black Lives, it's not our business. But we protested in Nigeria. Wait.
Okay.
I am telling you that when it comes to international issues, you see players across countries.
Okay, but Mr. Lawal, I want to okay, I'm coming. I want to understand your point. You're saying that we shouldn't blame these international communities for the quagmire that we allow ourselves. That way you're saying that issue is with us.
Ruled by leaders. Now that's why I said excuse me. That's why I said when these politicians come, you get it, and they come with this. What will induce you? You never even see their children. You see the same Nigerians that will be used to induce the same Nigerians. All of you are so they will use them to
and
induce
they do so
you.
willingly.
Yes, and when they induce you, they don't force you. They give it to you. I have seen an elderly woman. This is 2023 election in my area. She couldn't walk. She couldn't walk, so she was using this support. That's how they move her to go to the polling book and vote for APC in my area. I saw the woman I was looking. You get it? She was managing like this. I was wondering.
They brought them out. They brought many of them out.
They did, yes.
What I'm saying is that
it's aggressive campaign.
That woman plus so many others, youths, you see them carrying fighting over something that be wondering what is wrong with these people now. You get? Is this that's why I ask you, is this the same country from outside? Is this the same Europe that is telling you? I'm a politician and I've contested. I've never collected one, but I'll tell people to their face. That is why they know me. You get it? I'll tell you, I don't give anything. You get it? I don't.
Well, so the thing is that this US general is facing criticism because his own bone of contention is that a country's natural resource, who has a president, that he's complaining that he's using...
I expected the people to investigate their president.
No, we investigate which president.
Because they say no.
Is the natural resource of this country not protecting the president? Is the president is the natural the oil that we have? Is the president not using it to protect himself? I want to ask you.
So why are you complaining? We shouldn't be here complaining.
We are not complaining. Are you not understanding? Understand the trade. We're telling you that it's not the person. It's not their business.
Okay, then why do you interfere in
Mr. Lawal? Mr. Lawal, the question is, Mr. Lawal, listen. The question, Mr. Lawal, can you listen? Wait, listen. Understand the train of thought, so you're not veering off.
I'm not.
No, the thing is this, Mr. Lawal. The question what we're trying to get is, what is the business of this U.S. general with what the Burkina babes do with their gold? Are the people complaining? The people are not. The people did not complain that the gold that is their natural resource is being solely utilized by their president. If they had complained and then they now react, that's different. The people did not complain. They now decided to help them talk. Who asked you? Who sent you? That is the thing. That's what we're talking about. You're getting it in a different light. Yes.
That's how they killed Sankara. What is
why are you saying all this thing? Do you remember the case? Let me give you another recent one. Do you remember? Wait, Esther. Do you remember the case of Israel and Palestine? Yes. Do you remember? Do you know that Nigerians protested against Israel because of that?
We have people.
What's our business?
No, there are people. There is a similar interest. There are people who practice Islam.
No, I'm not talking about the religion.
It's about the religion now.
You are talking about Nigeria. You didn't talk about religion when you talk about somebody complaining about another person's gold. Excuse me. Wait. Excuse me.
Okay, we need to take phone calls, please.
Listen very well. What I'm telling you
because
is that
the Palestinians complained.
So you are complaining Nigeria, and somebody else is complaining about another one. You are complaining. Why do you have the right now?
The Burkina Faso did not complain.
They didn't complain.
I don't understand. Okay. Mr. Lawal is like he doesn't want to get it. But finally, Barrister Joe. Barrister Joe.
How do you know?
Barrister Joe.
Opinion poll. Go and do opinion poll.
Barrister Joe, let me ask you. Barrister Joe.
Go and do opinion poll in Burkina Faso. Excuse me. Go to Yadupo. Let them go there.
Barrister Joe Okedi. Finally, do you think? Wait now. There was no letter. There was no. In fact, they want Nigerians to stop having to help them protest against them.
Who are those talking? Is it not from social media? Do you go to their land and ask them?
They're right. We petition the president to United.
Barrister Joe Okedi. Barrister Joe, we need to take phone calls. Finally, please. Do you think Peter Obi should join the PDP?
He was a member of Nigerian politicians.
Please come closer.
Nigerian politicians, in terms of jumping parties, is something that nobody can predict. They always jump parties, both at the governorship level, at any level, wherever they believe that they have chances of picking a ticket, actualizing their ambition. They always go there. What I expected Labour and PDP or the rest of other opposition to do is to form an alliance, not to dissolve their political platforms.
Okay.
If they can adopt a presidential candidate, it has been done in political landscape before, adopt a political candidate, share powers. Do you understand my point? Now then, I think there's a way they can do it. Whether they can allow somebody from a Labour to become a running mate to somebody in PDP without being a member of PDP. Or if somebody from PDP can produce president and vice, then Labour and the rest of the other parties will not produce a presidential candidate and support that person. And say, the parties are adopting this person as a presidential candidate. But now there is side permutation going on regarding P2B and the article forming an alliance. And people are seeing it as something that can dislodge Tinubu. But then who will be the presidential candidate? That's where the question is. If you make Atiku the presidential candidate, would the obedience
allow it
be inspired to work for that? Although they are saying that Atiku wants to rule only 1 year, get P2B around, then can that be trusted?
That's true. Because the South only has this 4 years. Yes. The next time is the North that is going.
See, let me tell you, if I even have my time, that thing should be destroyed. So that people will be free. Because if you keep on,
it's an agreement they had ever since the Civil War. The rotation goes between the south and the north.
It's bad. Some people that are good might be, like in my state now, it's almost causing problems. There are prominent people that will have actually been governors or whatever, because it's not the time of their own time. They will not even get there, and before it will get to their own time, 16 years, they are off.
That's true.
So you might be losing some precious
good hands,
people that might
lead well.
They are champion their face of the state to glorious heights, and then they'll be like, well, fizzle out without actualizing that ambition. What I'm saying is that if actually we want to make it like constitutional, but then that will be depriving the Nigerians, except it is captured in our constitution.
Okay.
So the modalities on how to get about that will be clearly defined. And once power is in the south for 8 years, it's only people from the south that will contest presidential ticket of every political party in Nigeria.
Okay.
To become constitutional, then how to when somebody dies and somebody from the north is like vice president, the person will not take over the place of the president until
so would you advise Peter Obi to remain with the Labour? We need to take phone calls.
Now,
do you advise him to stay with the Labour Party?
Buhari truncated that when he stopped Jonathan for 8 years, though they say it was not turn of the south. Peter Obi should consider that very, very well. One interest of Nigerians should be put first. If they want this present administration to continue, they can go their separate ways. Basically, they may not succeed individually. But Atiku and Peter Obi must find a way to forge a common front. If Atiku can put it in writing, that because it's only somebody from the north and somebody strong from the south that can put heads together to dislodge APs.
Okay.
If you don't do that, Tinubu is cruising into
2027. All right, the number to call is 08036929933, 08036929933, 08036929933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Fine. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Adilabu.
From what location, sir?
I'm calling from Keji.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the U.S. People intervening in Africa. I want to say something. I beg to differ with Mr. Ayekundayo.
Okay.
Because Buhari was the president of Nigeria for 8 years. Nigeria economy was destroying for good 8 years. The U.S. they know that Buhari was also a general. What did they did? Concerning they love us. What did they say anything? Now we have another president now in Nigeria that destroying Nigeria economy. Have they come out to tell him that he is destroying Nigeria economy? People that want to repair Africa, if they see that any leader want to come up, look at what they did to Gaddafi, Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara. Today now, look at what is their business. The man is doing well in his country. His country they are not complaining. The economy is going up, and they are seeing that the whole world is praising that man. And the whole African leaders they are not doing. How many of African people that is practicing politics they are doing democracy that is doing well that those people they are not doing well. Nobody is saying anything. Why did they face our people that were practicing democracy that are destroying our economy? If they love Africa, if they love us truly. They will always find selfish people among us. That is the truth. They know that there are people that are selfish between you people, and they support them. So it's not as if people does not know what to do. The Westerners, they know they are the people destroying us, and we should be earlier the better. We know that we have enemies within us, but their own the conspiracy is coming from that place, and they know they have higher forces, higher power that if they support them, it will be very easy to get what they have in Nigeria. So that is my take.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for calling. All right, the number to call is 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
Yeah, my name is Ugo.
Ugo, please, what's your location?
Yeah, Ajigule.
All right, please, Ugo, go ahead.
Yes, what I want to say, Mr. Ayekundayo, is if he till now he does not know that these foreign people are the enemies of Africa, and I'm shocked, because by this with different kind of historic things that have gone around the world, he should have known by now that. Can you hear me, ma'am?
I can hear you. I'm concurring.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. What I'm saying, yes, what I'm saying is that with all the whole things that British and the French have done in the past, two brothers are fighting. You did not separate them by calling them together. You decided to empower one with so much weapon. So much weapon that even after the war, there was still more than enough weapon for those people to use. During the Biafra war, the weapon that British supplied Nigeria, cluster bombs that are not used, that have been banned internationally, cluster bombs were supplied in excess. This novel man, I've forgotten his name, in his village, they were still removing bombs that they planted in his village during the Biafra war. This your Igbo man that used to write novel then, they were still removing bombs in his house, in his village. They were still removing, yes ma'am, they were still removing bombs in his hometown, bombs that they planted. Cluster bomb was so much. Russia supplied Nigeria with MiG-15 fighter jets. More than enough fighter jet, they supplied them. Egyptian could not supply. Egyptian brought pilots to Nigeria. For you, one country is fighting, or two tribes are fighting in one country. You decided on your own to support one. You left the other one. You decided to support one. The thing that Ojukwu did that pained me so much, that one thing Ojukwu did that annoyed me, is when they captured those Italian people, those oil workers. He should have killed those people. I don't know why he left them, because the Pope said that they should. Pope did not talk when they were starving Nigerian children. Pope did not talk when Kwashoko was killing Nigerian children.
Much. Thank you. We need to take other calls.
He did not talk.
Thank you.
They got 9 people and they.
Thank you very much, Ugo. Thank you. Yes, I know they're referring to the whole Burkina Faso thing and how that is. Exactly.
They wanted to destabilize Nigeria.
Yes, exactly.
Where is where did
08036929933? That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. All right, 08036929933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Please, what's your name?
My name is Chris from US.
All right, Chris, please go ahead.
Yeah, please, my contribution is this. Hello, can you hear me now?
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my contribution is this. Yeah, Nigerians, we are our problems.
Okay.
I don't blame someone coming from outside until when we decide to settle our problems. Because I'm in US here. No matter whatever Trump is doing, the people come out to resist whatever they are doing. And we have institutions. Institutions are built by human beings.
Okay.
Not animals. Until Nigerians forget about Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, tribalism or whatever, and come to one accord and settle their problem. And everything must not be by outside. If they come outside, they kill them. Like what is happening in Rivers or whatever. They can decide from Monday to this, we're not going to work. All of us sit inside. And when they sit inside, no one comes out to work, then they will not realize, you won't come to my house and pull me out and you can see me. But the only thing that if they decide to sit out now, 8 people may sit out, 2 people go out. And now they will be trained. But until when Nigeria see that enough is enough, but what we are seeing now in Nigeria is the time bomb. If Nigeria doesn't take time now to fix what is happening, they have to, we're entering a time bomb that they explode. Let all of us, we are more than these politicians, we are more than them. We decide we don't want this. Or okay, we sit at our home for 1 week or 2 weeks and sit in that if you cannot come out. Have one spirit, one accord, one focus. Forget about outsiders.
All right.
Outsiders cannot decide what to happen. It is we that have to take a decision that enough is enough.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
You understand that he's calling from US. He's in US, so he's looking at us outside.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, hello. My name is Lloyd.
Your name is what?
My name is Lloyd. Lloyd.
Lloyd. What's your location, sir?
Okay, that's my name.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you see, my contribution is this. First, let me sound my equipment to Mr. Kundai.
Okay.
Yes, he has been trying all his efforts to broker within the limitations of tribalism. Let me tell you something. What is holding Africa, or let me be specific to Nigeria, which I belong to, what is holding Nigeria is tribalism and religious
sentiments.
Challenges. Again, we should understand religion is of personal issue. Like this evening, I'm a Liverpool fan. I have a Yoruba friend very close to me, a Liverpool fan. After the match, we were together like 2 hours discussing like that. You get what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we are discussing that. That means if there are challenges facing us, I can work together with him with synergy as a Yoruba person, as an Igbo person. We combine together our resources to fight whatever that is against us. But because of nepotism, religious sentiment or whatever, which our leaders has been using as an instrumentality by which they will use to put confusion within us. In the sense, look at it. Let me just diverge a little bit. Like what's happening now, we see massive defections from governors to APC. All this is a trap. They set for Fubara. Fubara through legal means. He is the first person. The Supreme Court will say, now you have jumped ship, you have to leave. Other ones will be in litigation till after 4 years. They will conclude their 4 years.
Hello?
So this is my own country. So
all right, thank you. Thank you.
Our inability to fix our challenges to the right appropriate means. That's what we are facing. Tribalism is our problem.
Fix our problem
all right.
ourselves.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Stop blaming outside. Don't blame other people for your problems.
Good evening, Esther.
Yes, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Esther. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Where are you calling us from, please?
Oh, this is Remy. I'm calling you from Liverpool.
Remy.
Now,
Remy, you guys won today. You
Esther,
guys won today.
Have you heard?
Yeah.
That the king is born. Esther.
Yes.
Please go and drink Jack Daniel on me tonight. Please do. Thank you. Thank you. Drink, eat anything you want on me tonight.
Okay.
Please do.
Okay.
Don't. I will be angry. Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
God bless you. Now, you see, I'm just waiting for my train back to London now.
Okay.
You see, let me tell you this. We have foreign interference in every part of the world.
Yeah.
This is a global politics.
Thank you.
CIA play it, everybody play it. But it is the people of that country that will determine how successful those foreign interference will be.
Thank you.
CIA tried many times to kill this communist leader in Cuba, Castro. They didn't succeed. CIA tried in Vietnam, they didn't succeed. CIA tried in Soviet Union, they didn't succeed. Now, what breaks Soviet Union? I'll tell you what breaks Soviet Union. It was when the people, okay, let's use East Berlin as case study. All of you are educated, I know you know this history. It was when East Berlin people, when you hear about the Berlin Wall,
the Berlin Wall,
Berlin Wall, CIA tried everything they could to bring the Berlin Wall down. They didn't succeed. It was when the East Berlin people realized that their oppressor are not as powerful as they used to parade themselves. They came out in mass. They brought that. It was ordinary people that brought down the wall. So I believe strongly that this defection we are seeing in Nigeria today, I am so glad it's happening. And it is now left to we, because evil thrives when you, Esther, and me, and all of us refuse to act. That's when evil thrives.
Okay.
When we act, these people are not as powerful as us. The foreign people do their thing, but it is we that will determine if the foreign power will succeed or not. Thank you.
Thank
Esther,
you very much.
I said it. Go and eat and drink on me tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you, Peter?
Good evening.
Good evening. Happy Sunday.
Peter, I'm calling from Abanja in Kotu.
All right, Peter, please go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the July election, the July local government election that's coming up in Lagos, I think if people should not blame Chieftain because it's the continuation of the dynasty of Tinubu. So unless when Tinubu is no more there, that dynasty may crumble if Sheyi does not handle it very well. But at the moment, whatever Sheyi wants to do in Lagos, he will achieve it, in as much as the father is still around. Then concerning P2B joining PDP, I think the obedience we want him to join PDP if he's going to be the presidential candidate instead of Atiku. But Nigerians will also look at it critically and say, since P2B cannot, bring the South in order, that is Labour Party, how can we govern Nigeria? So that is the question, the obedience we always look at, because Nigerians are ready to ask that question. Anyway, I don't think that there's vacancy in House or comes into the family. Thank you very much.
Okay, now Peter is pro APC. 08036929933 08036929933. That's the number to call. The WhatsApp number to send your messages to is 0817175638. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, extra. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. I'm fine.
This is Joe from Bariga anyway.
All right, Joe, please go ahead.
Extra, you see the problem we have in Nigeria. Very big problem. But let us not underlook this problem. Our governors are the major problem to us, because this democracy. They're supposed to exercise democracy to the masses. They're very close to the masses. You see, when the man was talking 2 days ago, the governor of Benue State is saying, "Oh, people are politicizing. Politicizing the killing of my people. Why are they politicizing the killing of my people?" I said, what is wrong with this man? What is wrong with the man? So we should have underreported the matter. Okay, governor, you are a foreigner in your land. That's good for you. If you wanted to continue to kill your people, that is, you have the answer, the question and the answer. Mr. Leah, that is what I want to say this night. Good night, my sister.
Thank you very much for calling. I will take one more call so I can read the messages. 08036929933 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Ifeanyi, your location, please.
From Ikorodu.
All right, please go ahead.
Please, first of all, I want to say this. Nobody should blame Nigerian citizens. It's somebody that have eaten and get satisfied that can be able to say, I'm standing to defend myself. Number one, what these politicians do is to make people be hungry, trying to provide everybody suffering. People are suffering, and that's the reason why you see that they can come out and give a cup of rice and people collect it and vote for them. So anything happening in Nigeria or in the country today, we shouldn't throw the blame to the citizen. It's the leaders, our leader, the president and the other powers. So, and secondly, as someone just called now trying to say that P2B did not put his house in order. Please, nobody should blame P2B, because everything happening in any party today, either PDP or Labour Party, is all caused by APC.
APC has distanced themselves, so he says it's not.
They are the one causing it. Before, did anybody hear anything about the APC, Labour Party? Did anybody complain about it? Arab and beat them, all those people, they are the one causing this problem. They are all sent by APC. So they are the ones doing all this thing. Nobody should say anything about P2B. They know they put his house in order. What will P2B do? P2B will do this one, they will turn him to this side, he will go to this side, they will turn him to this side. He didn't want to kill himself. He did the honor of the party. Nobody should blame P2B. We should all put the blame on APC. They are the ones scattering all the other opposition so that they will not come against them in 2027. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I would like to take some WhatsApp messages now. But what Peter Osifo said is that what Nigerians will say is, if he leaves the Labour Party and decides to join PDP, they will say, what kind of leader are you when you could not put your house together? How do you now intend to rule and control a very complicated country, a complex nation like Nigeria? That's what Peter Osifo was trying to say. But thank you so much for calling. So let me take some messages. Good evening, VOP FM and Esther from Ikotun Abaranje Access. Your station signal is rough and radio unfriendly. Kindly look into it. Thank you, John Chukwueze. All right, thank you so much. I think the engineer is listening, so obviously they'll do something about it. Thank you for actually reaching out to us. Good evening, Esther. This is James from Ikeja. Please, there is a cutback on your mic and even that of your guests. It's loud and clear when you play soundbite, but breaking and low when you speak. We're struggling to hear you over here. All right, thank you very much from Ikeja. Wow. Okay, don't worry, we're working on our signal. Trust me, I think it will get better. Thank you so much for notifying us. Good evening, Esther, Mr. Ekundaya, and the barrister. Mr. Ekunda, election is not won by the votes from the rice and indomie collectors. Election is won by selection done by certain privileged individuals at that particular period who only care about their personal interests both locally and internationally. In 2027, El-Rufai celebrated Muslim victory in Kaduna and Aso Rock. Something happened somewhere. Thank God El-Rufai is now skimmed out. Amechi from Mafoluku. Amechi, I think you meant 2023 and not 2027. We're in 2025. This person says, why is Ekunda always angry? Please, today is Sunday. Oh, Mr. Ekunda, are you angry? No, he's just trying to emphasize his point of view. That's what he says. He said that he watched Liverpool from someone's window. Okay. All right. I don't think Mr. Lawal is placing his point well to your understanding. I guess he's saying, are Africans so childish and dumb to be played like kids by some so-called foreigners? As for Peter Obi, if no strong candidate is coming to meet him in the Labour Party, he better leave the party and join forces with someone like Atiku in the PDP, or if they decide to form another party. If they make same mistake as in 2023, campaigning separately, they will split the vote again. Also, again, I want to ask, do you think Peter Obi would get same amount of vote he got last time, or it would be lessened? Considering many factors which I can't type here, they should be wise. If not, the wild hyenas and raccoons will remain in power, and the next 4 years they spend will be something else, as if God doesn't end the world by then. Tay, well done. I like basically where you're reasoning from. Good evening. Good evening to you. Good evening. Former President Obasanjo said Africa should look for a system that will favor them. Democracy is not working. Western world likes democracy because it helps them install selfish African leaders that doesn't care to develop Africa. When Kenya killed their protesting youth, what did Americans do? Even during NSAS and killer headsmen, they didn't even come in to help. Atiku should go and rest if he loves Nigerians and not his selfish ambition. Chief Udo. All right. Mr. Obi going to PDP can never ever be VP. Atiku is our problem for coming out on 2023 election. Elder Dikin Owo Mafoluku Oshode. All right, good evening, sweet Queen Esther VP Shakanadi from Alabama. Nigeria is for Ozol. Thank you very much. Good evening, Esther. Peter Obi is a bride. APC has lost East, West, North, and South. Is Nira from Ijesha. Good evening, Esther and the guest. All right, good evening to you too. The people defecting to APC, it shows that loyalty for this government is cash and carry. Objection, now mortuary. Everybody gets agenda with their mercenary enterprise. You can say it's not about performance, no ideology, no capacity. It's all about the money and personal interest. Also, once you have looted your state dry, you're welcome to APC. Like Oshamole said, once you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. Good evening, Esther. Please ask your engineers to work on the station. All right, from Egbeda, thank you very much, Paul. Good evening, brilliant people. Peter Obi wants to run this time. He should change his name to Peter Mahmood or Peter Oluwa Belumi. Just a suggestion. Chin Kong Hong from Chicago University. Wow. Good evening, Esther. I want you to distinguished guest in the studio. Esther, thank you very much for inviting Barrister John Wokedi in the studio this evening. He has spoken very well, like a true analyst that he is. Nigerians, the time has come for us to come together and win this war of nepotism and tribal wars. Most of these leaders are using this against us. Together we stand divided we fall. Soft touch from Idimo. All right, that's all the message. Finally, Barrister Joe, what is in a few seconds? What's your take? We need to wrap up.
On segment by segment or generally?
Just generally based on what we've spoken.
2027 politics. For me, it's still too early. We should.
You think it's too early?
Yes, it's still too early because in Nigeria, people that are not concerned about the welfare of the people always discuss election.
Okay.
Instead of performance and the people.
And governance.
So just calm down. I remember, I don't want to mention his governor that came to address people on his 3-year scorecard. He would not even, when they asked him about election, he said that it's not in his mind. There is like application form that you submit. If it's approved, you will continue. It's not approved, that you go. So we should focus on governance. On governance.
Please, in a few seconds, Mr. Lawal.
Governance. See, my own is this: the problems of Africans is within Africa. We are imploding. We are imploding into ourselves. Okay. You get it? We should realize this. We should see how we can take advantage of this world economy and benefit us. Because each time we use blame game, we lose focus. Then we see somebody as the enemy. Let us look inward. You get it? And fix our country, and then we'll be able to compete internationally and be one of the best continent in the world.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. To wrap on the political spotlight, my name is Esther Wachiku. Follow me on YouTube, ESTIQMEDIA. On social media, Esther Nwaz on Instagram, Esther Wachiku on Facebook and on X. Barrister John Wokedi across all social media platforms. Lawal Ekundayo as well on Facebook. Good evening and thank you for listening.